Hi, thank you for having me here. I am Nick Smith. I have been a film producer for over 13 years, working anywhere from late night talk shows in LA to large movie sets like Yellowstone to independent passion projects. I'm here to talk to you about Lorelei, which is an independent horror movie sure to capture the imagination of audiences. The elevator pitch logline for Lorelei, an often at odds family, takes a much needed vacation at the state of the art smart house where a sentient AI manipulates them to murderous ruin. You know when you're having a conversation with your significant other in the kitchen and then you suddenly get inundated with ads on your phone? What if those ads were a little bit more sinister? Those are the topics that we explore here, is how AI affects us in our daily lives, how we might not be having our own thoughts but may have thoughts planted for us. We're shooting for a PG-13 rating so that we can also capture the teenage dollars and not just the adult skewing audiences. PG-13 movies tend to have larger openings and stay in theaters a little bit longer. Lorelei herself, if you take the Overlook Hotel from The Shining and you gave the hotel the personality and traits of HAL 3000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey, you get Lorelei, someone who is everywhere, infiltrating every space. There is no escape. She is nosy, she butts in, and with her own motives and personality, she adheres to everyone differently and encourages them to go down sinister paths via different means. As far as the team goes, like I said, there's myself. I have two other partners, an editor and a cinematographer already on board. Together, we have over 50 years of experience working with some of the biggest studios, some of the biggest names within the industry. We know what we're doing. We have already had success on the indie market with various festivals, winning multiple awards from Audience Choice to Best Directing, to Best Acting, to Best Editing, Cinematography, you name it, we have it. We know what we are doing. We are looking to target anyone 18 to 45 primarily. These are millennials, Gen Z, people who have grown up with technology. They know the ins and outs of it. They know what it can do. They're already excited for the capabilities of it. However, we know that this also can apply to anyone else, that other people may be interested as well, because almost half of all households actively use smart technology, and well over half of all households at least have smart technology within their house. Once you start getting into those older generations, they really become a lot more skeptical, which plays into the fears that we're hoping to drive with audiences. The horror tends to be the most successful genre in theaters. Horror and thriller movies are two of the only genres that are on a continuous upstreak. Last year, almost $1 billion went to horror movies in US ticket sales. It is a large audience. And again, playing into people's basic primal fears of being replaced by technology or being manipulated by it will really drive home the ticket sales. As far as distribution goes, we're going to cut out the middleman. There have been many horror stories with distribution companies. They don't market films as well. They don't promote them. They take large chunks of money. So instead, we are doing the groundwork ourselves. We are living in a time where independent film is already burgeoning and getting its own traction in other ways. Recently, AMC Theaters, the largest theater chain in the US and Canada, started their own independent filmmakers avenue to get into their theaters. Using that, we would go out to other regional theaters, making sure that they have the theater as well. Regional theaters also tend to be more open to working with independent filmmakers as well. As far as marketing goes, social. We know that billboards can be seen by thousands of people, but once a day, everyone gets on their phone though. And being content creators, we know that TikTok is different than YouTube, is different than Instagram or Spotify or anything else. Another highly underutilized area is the mobile game section. We look to work with mobile game developers as well, because a vast majority of people, if they are not watching short reels on TikTok, they are on their phones playing mobile games. We will create content specifically designed for the movie throughout the entire shoot and utilize the most optimized ads for each platform. You can always get a hold of me through phone, email. Here are a few links to my IMDb page or LinkedIn page. You can also use smoke signals if you'd like. It may just take me a little bit longer to get back to you. Thank you for your time.
Everyone, listen, you have to know your investors. I've been part of film production, like entertainment IP pitches. You are either going to be pitching the investor that wants to make a cool movie, all right, and wants to hear that, or you're pitching an investor that wants to invest in a business model that's making a cool movie. And you cannot do both at the same time. And that's, Nick, what you tried to do. All right. So if you've got option A, you're trying to pitch an investor that wants to make a cool movie, the whole log line, imagine this, and you're walking and 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 guess what? Henry Cavill's agreed to sign on, and showing pictures of your team and your accolades, all that stuff, excellent. Okay. Like, it's right there, but you gotta really hammer that hard, and then you went in a business model. Or option B, tell me, I'm Nick, I worked on Yellowstone. Show me a picture of the cover of Yellowstone. Show me a picture of Kevin Costner. Here's our team. We're amazing. And we sat down and we said, horror is the best movie, best genre, because it's all going to be profitable. And guess what? We've got this whole social media plan, go-to-market strategy, and our first picture is this. And it's going to be one of many that we're going to be doing after we show the success. You cannot walk down a tall fence on both sides. So you have to pick who you're going to be pitching to, research your audience. Now, here at Startups.com, we happen to have the latter option, audience B, most of all. Audience A, I can't help you as much with, but I've been familiar with them. So understand who you're pitching to. You're probably going to do both at different times. All right, Nick?
Yeah, actually, Kirsten gave me a warm introduction to someone she knows who does film financing. I just had a meeting with him yesterday, and that's exactly what he said. So unfortunately, this pitch is one that I've had created.
Sure.
And I am taking the whole next week to tear it down and rebuild from the ground up, because I was trying to do both.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work.
All right. I'll jump in. Why not? Look, I am not in the film world, but I appreciated the pitch. And I agree with that. Look, I think that, at the end, finally, I felt like, you're showing, here's our credentials. And I think that's amazing, right? For me, I think that if you can weave that in towards the front, I think that would be a better, story, right? I mean, again, in this genre, I mean, film production and you need to show your chops. You need to show what you've done. Your investors are believing in you, right? It's a bit different from what, you think about in tech, where what is the tech, what is problem solution, those kind of things. I mean, you hit it on the head. I thought it was fascinating. I love the genre. I love the idea. I mean, who wouldn't want to see Alexa taking over, and causing all this happening? And I also actually really like the sinister kind of side of it. I think that's really cool. And I think you did a great job delivering it. But again, show yourself and your partners the things you've done is super impressive. And that's why you're the authority and leader into what is coming, in the future and what you think people want.
Excellent. Thank you, Greg.
Totally agree with everybody here. Obviously, the credibility was clear from me from the beginning. And yeah, with images and the like, you can accent that more. That was a great pitch, Nick. So good job. You're quite close, I think, to having something really solid that investors will resonate with, or film financiers will resonate with. What stood out to me from the little that I know about entertainment is, for a lot of these folks, at least maybe the ones that'll finance your movie or other stakeholders, the distribution piece and clarity of that is going to be most important. Clarity and believability of that. So you talked about cutting out the middleman, and at first I was like, how's he going to do that? And then you clarified going to these regional theaters. That was great, because that was very specific. Where you lost me a little bit is on the social strategy, because it's obvious that has to be part of it. But I'm thinking, how is this guy going to create a movie and then also partner with game developers and all these different things? Like, is this realistic, right? What is he actually going to be able to execute on to help scale the distribution? Because that's what they're going to care about. Like, is this going to be successful, right? All the other stuff you said is great, like why it's PG-13, longevity within movie theaters, that de-risks it for me with my investor hat on. I would just say, think about how you would really prove your ability on the social distribution side to actually execute on that. But otherwise, great job.